So let's talk about one of the biggest, most common headaches in the tech world, trying to get data from your organization to another one, and doing it securely and, efficiently. Today, we're going to break down Microsoft's solution for that exact problem, Azure Data Share.
Does this sound familiar? You've got this super critical data that you absolutely need to share with a partner or a supplier, or maybe even just a different department in your own company. But the whole process, it's just a nightmare. It's clunky, feels totally insecure, and it just grinds everything to a halt.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's this tangled mess of permissions, custom code, endless security reviews. It's a massive headache that just slows everything and everyone down.
Well, what if I told you there's a managed, super secure, and incredibly efficient way to handle all of this? And the best part is, it's built right into the Azure ecosystem you're probably already using.
Okay, before we jump into the solution, let's really dig into the problem. What exactly makes up this data sharing headache we all know and, well, don't love?
The old way of doing things is honestly just painful. I mean, you're sinking all this time and money into building custom APIs. You're trying to manage these fragile data pipelines that seem to break if you just look at them wrong. You're paying to store duplicate copies of the same data, and all the while you've got that constant nagging worry about security.
All right, enough complaining about the problem. Let's get to the good stuff, the solution. This brings us right to Azure Data Share, which is designed to be the fix for all those issues we just talked about.
So what is this thing really? At its heart, Azure Data Share is a fully managed service, and the keywords you gotta remember here are simplify and secure. It lets you share data with other organizations without having to build those custom, complicated, and frankly, annoying pipelines.
And the benefits here? They really boil down to 4 huge wins. First, you get simplified data sharing, which right away leads to better collaboration. You also get to see some pretty significant cost savings because you're not paying for all that duplicate storage. And finally, you've got built-in governance to keep everything compliant. It's a really powerful combination.
So how does it actually deliver on those promises? Well, through a few really smart features. For starters, there are no data movement costs. You get to leverage Azure's incredible built-in security, like role-based access control, or RBAC, which lets you get super granular on who can see and do what. You can send incremental updates, which is awesome for saving bandwidth, and the whole thing is built to scale up as you need it.
Okay, this all sounds fantastic in theory, right? But how does it actually work under the hood? Let's break down the core concept, which, you'll be happy to hear, is surprisingly simple. The entire system is based on these 2 key roles. You've got the provider and you've got the consumer. The provider is the one who owns the data. They're the one who creates the share from their Azure storage. The consumer is the partner or the other organization who gets an invitation and then gets access to that data right in their own Azure environment. It really is as simple as that. And one of the most powerful things about this is its flexibility. You're not locked into just one specific type of data. As a provider, you can share data from pretty much all the big ones. We're talking data lake, blob storage, SQL databases, and even Azure Synapse Analytics.
So you're ready to ditch the old way and give this a shot? How do you actually get started? Well, the good news is it's a lot more straightforward than you might think. Let's just walk through the first steps together.
It really just boils down to 4 main steps. First up, you register the Data Share resource provider in your subscription. That's usually a one-time thing. Second, you go ahead and create the share itself, picking out which data sets to include. Third, you invite your consumer just by using their Azure subscription ID. And finally, they accept the invitation on their end, and boom, that secure connection is made.
Okay, so once you're up and running, there are a few key things to keep in mind to make sure you're using the service as effectively and as securely as possible. This is all about sharing data the smart way.
To really master this, you want to focus on these 4 best practices. Always use incremental updates when you can. It'll save you a ton on bandwidth. Lock down your security with that fine-grained role-based access control. Keep an eye on the activity logs for auditing and compliance. And sort of underpinning all of it, make sure you have a clear data governance policy so everyone knows the rules of the road. And this quote right here, it just nails the whole point of the service. Azure Data Share empowers you to unlock the real value of your shared data, but without all of the typical challenges that used to come with it. It's all about removing the friction so you can focus on the insights.
So as we wrap this up, I'm just going to leave you with this question to think about.
With this kind of simplified, secure data collaboration at your fingertips, what new partnerships, what new insights, and what amazing new value could you unlock for your organization? Thanks for tuning in.